Yeah, hey YouTube, I hope y'all good. Welcome to my channel, Boxing Conversations with Swaggy. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. So okay, cool. Let's get straight to it. Today I will be breaking down the fight between Brian Norman Jr. and Devin the Dream Haney. They are both superstars in their own, respective rights. Um, Considering the fact that Brian Norman Jr. is currently the the youngest world champion right now. Right now in boxing, you feel me? Because he is just 20, I think he's 23, 24 years old. And he is currently the WBO World Junior Welterweight Champion. And Devin Haney, on the other hand, has accomplished a lot. In the 135-pound division and the 140 division. You feel me? As we all know that he was undisputed in the 135-pound division, as he captured his undisputed belts when he beat George Cambosos from Australia in his backyard. He went there and took lesser money just to achieve the feat. So that was massive and brave of him. And he also fought him again in the rematch as per requested in the first contract. And then he went on to defend those titles and also moved up just one division and captured the WBC title in the 140-pound division from former champion Regis Rigoro Progre, and then he just moved up. As we all know, before we discuss the fact that Devin Haney moved up, we all know what happened in his fight with Ryan Garcia, which makes Brian Norman, in my opinion, the favorite in this fight, because after that fight, it's rare to see after fighters of after fights of that nature, it's rare to see a boxer becoming his older self. Eventually that boxer becomes a shell of themselves, or some most boxers, this goes two ways, right? It's either a boxer becomes a shell of themselves, or they highly improve and become the best version of themselves, you know. And much respect to every boxer that steps inside that ring. No disrespect, and it's easier said than done, especially from someone who doesn't box like me. But from an analyst perspective, I feel like Brian Norman Jr. is the favorite. Why am I saying Brian Norman Jr. is the favorite going into that fight? We have to remember that Brian Norman Jr. is not only young, he is an old school kind of fighter. He's a throwback fighter, in my opinion. The reason why I am saying that is simply based on the fact that you can just see his aura, you feel me? Not his aura, but his attitude, you feel me? You can just see how he conducts himself, how he speaks. You can just see his swag, as Americans say. And as for how he 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 fights, he backs it up in the ring. He isn't afraid to go to war. He has speed, power, agility, maturity, um, movement. He has everything. He's the full package. So he's definitely going to be a big problem for Haney, as he is also a knockout artist. I think he has currently 28 fights, 28 wins, and 22 knockouts, if I'm not mistaken. So Brian Norman Jr. is a threat. He's a real threat. But this fight is not going to be. I'm not saying that this fight is gonna be a walk in the park, as many people are also saying that Haney is the favorite in their books, based on the fact that he has the experience. But we have to remember, 28 fights is a lot of fights. That's for Brian Norman. I think Haney has like 32 fights, 32, 33 fights, I'm not sure, but 28 fights, that's a lot. That's a lot of experience. And Haney is also young, but as for experience, I think that their levels of experience are not too different, if at all. But the only difference is, I guess, their level of opposition. Yes, Haney has faced much more challenging opposition, such as the likes of Ryan Garcia. We all know what happened there. Um, Ryan Garcia, he has fought the likes of um, it's a lot. Jorge Linares, a veteran, a strong veteran, and of course George, Cambosos. He has fought a lot of great fighters. Haney, and also Regis, Regis, Probably, as I have mentioned. Haney has a stacked resume. You feel me? But some people argue, such as the current IBF 140-pound champion, Richardson Hitchens. Hitchens argues that um, Haney caught a lick when he fought George. He also says that we all know that George Cambosos was a lick, which might be partly true. No disrespect to um, you know, no pun intended or anything, but that's what Hitchens said. He said Haney caught a lick when he beat George Cambosos, and I was like, damn, that's a bold statement. You feel me? But honestly, that did have an element of truth, because we have to remember that America American fighters are very talented, So it doesn't matter who they fight, but the favorite is mostly gonna be the American fighter 9 times out of 10. And this is not, trying to imply any bias or racism or anything. No, it's just based on the simple fact that American fighters are talented, gifted, hands down. Yes, other fighters are too, but American fighters are different. We all know what I'm talking about. We have Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, all that stuff. The list goes on and on. Bernard Hopkins, Muhammad Ali. America is the cream of the crop. We're not even gonna go there. You feel me? Hitchens says we all know Haney, quarterly, but at the end of the day, that was an undisputed champion. But fast forward now, Brian Norman Jr., in my opinion, and in many people's eyes, is currently the best junior welterweight in the world, in the whole world. And that is based on the fact that he has been knocking guys spark out, clean out. Take for example the last guy, he's lost 3-4 fights. He knocked one of them with a jab. Literally, the fight before his last fight in Japan, the fight before that, he knocked his opponent with a jab, literally. a stinging jab. And then the fight before that is the fight whereby he won the WBO world title, and I think it's his first world title ever. If I'm not mistaken, that was a war. He showed grit, resilience. That was not an easy fight. He was also getting caught. So in that fight, he also showed that he can trade. Stand in the fire and come out on top. You feel me? So in that fight, that was a great and that was a dirty knockout. And the head of the opponent, like, I don't know, it was damn. That was a bad knockout, and the whole body just became weak. And then fast forward his last fight when he fought the guy from Japan. Um, as we as you know, everyone knows, or most of you guys know, that guy forgot everything that happened. I think in the past 6 weeks. I don't know. Some are saying, some are saying that he forgot everything that happened in the past 6 weeks. Some are saying that he forgot everything that happened in his entire life. That was a bad knockout. He stopped him with a left hook, if I'm not mistaken, with a left hook in his own backyard in Japan. And the crazy part is that in the fight that I just spoke about, the fight before this one, that same opponent, Jin Sasaki, went to America to watch Brian Norman Jr. stop another guy like with a jab in his like last fight before they fought. And after that fight, this is how their fight happened. He he literally went to him and gave him a letter and asked one of his assistants to read the letter to Brian Norman Jr., telling him that he wants to fight him. Brian Norman Jr. honored that wish and went to his backyard and did what he did him dirty. Brian Norman Jr. says he's from the dirty. In fact, he is from the dirty South. Um, that's in America, but I'm not really like I'm from South Africa, so I'm not really familiar with the locations and all that stuff. But he's from the dirty South. Like you can just hear the word, like like how it sounds, dirty South. So he's from the trenches. He's from the streets, and like I said, he's an he's a throwback fighter, bro. You can't deny that. And we can say, what if Haney wins? This is definitely gonna be his, rocky story. Some people debate that yes, he did lose against Ryan Garcia, but as we all know, Ryan allegedly tested positive for Ostarine, allegedly, and Haney did have an L on his record, but then it got overturned to a no contest. So Haney is undefeated, and many people are saying that no, like we we we, we all know the truth, and funny enough, true, but banned substances are not allowed. It's debatable. Some people will say that it's not true. Ryan beat him fair and square, and even if he did use the banned substances, it it never changed the fact that he got hit countless times with a left hook that he never saw coming. So he should take. And some people even go as far as saying that there are legends such as Miguel Cotto, who fought, Margarito. Similar things happened, but it was a different situation. It was with the gloves. I think it was, I don't know what was in the gloves, but it was something that worked to Margarito's advantage, allegedly. You feel me? And then Margarito stopped Cotto in the first fight. I was watching that fight too. I think I'm not sure, maybe 14, 13, not sure. Um, and then Cotto took his L like a man, in as much as he was really cheated. Then got his leg back inside the ring via stoppage too, because he was beating like Margarito up, because Margarito like got caught. You feel me? So yeah. So some people are arguing that Devin Haney could have, taken that route, but then that's why I'm saying that should he win this fight, that's his rocky story. This is gonna erase all the Ryan, like the whole. It won't necessarily erase it, but it's gonna weaken it. Yeah, it's gonna weaken the whole Ryan Garcia saga and the whole, you know, um, all the like narratives. You feel me? Such as him, like catching a leg against George Cambosos and him taking shortcuts and whatnot. It's gonna erase all that. It's gonna truly show that he's a warrior who just wants all the smoke. But he is up against a real challenge against Brian Norman Jr. from the Dirty South. And I won't lie, in this fight, and I first knew of Haney long before I knew of Brian Norman Jr. Because Haney, when I first knew of Haney, many people from my country may know this and they may also relate. It was when he was fighting my big bro, Utaqo Lisan Nomeva Nongeni. Shout out to him. They were fighting and it was a great fight. It was a competitive fight, and Haney won on points. You feel me? So that's when I knew Haney, and that was quite a number of years ago. So Haney has been fighting, making his way up, climbing up the rankings, like every other superstar boxer. But like yeah, that's my so Brian Norman Jr. is he's not an he's not a novice, but he's inexperienced as compared to Haney and what Haney has achieved. But like I said, 28 fights, that's a lot of fights. So I got Brian Norman Jr. Let me know what y'all think. And before I end this video, I just want to send shout outs to the YouTube channels that inspire me and actually made me make this video. And there are many more. I'm gonna keep uploading. You feel me? This channel is gonna go up. Promise y'all. Shout out to Blue Blood Sports, True School Sports, The Untouchable, Showbiz the Adult. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Southpaw TV. I watch a lot of Southpaw TV. He's funny. It's a lot, man. I won't name them all, but it's a lot. Like I'm big on boxing, and yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Tell me what y'all think about my analysis. I'm out.